Good day, everybody. This is Michael Liberis from jurisq.com, and the law firm of Gregory, Spektor Associates is participating in our legal network. And I have here two partners of the law firm, Mathew Sullivan and Gregory Spektor. And Mathew deals with construction accident cases. Mathew, I wanted to ask you a question on behalf of all the workers who are immigrants. And there are a lot of immigrants working in the construction business. Tell me, does the immigration status matter to get recovery if somebody was injured at a work site?
This is one of the most common questions we get in our practice, and we deal with so many construction site accidents. So many workers come to us after their lives have been changed forever because of the negligence of a construction manager, construction site owner, or general contractor. I want to be absolutely clear when I say that your immigration status does not matter. If you were working for a construction company, whether it's on the books, off the books, no books, as long as the construction company or the subcontractor invited you onto the site, said, come work for the day, whether you're a day worker, been there for a week, been there for a minute, doesn't matter. You will be covered by New York State's labor law, which is the series of statutes that governs construction site injuries. Oftentimes, general contractors and construction site owners put non-union, non-citizens in some of the most dangerous conditions on the work site because they know they can push the envelope a little further with individuals, with workers who may be afraid to come forward. At Gregory Spektor and Associates, we welcome the opportunity to represent those members of the community who are often taken advantage of, who are often put in unfair situations and then expected not to come forward. In New York State, the New York State labor law, the laws that govern construction site accidents apply to all workers who are on the site doing some of the most dangerous work that you can think of. And so to answer your question directly, your immigration status does not matter when Gregory Spektor and Associates goes to court and fights for you after you've been injured in a construction site accident.
Very good. Thank you, Mathew. I do have a follow-up question. If such a worker who is an immigrant, let's say he or she has papers or no papers, does the immigration status get reported to authorities in the event of a payment?
Well, in that situation?
Correct.
You know, it certainly shouldn't be, right? We can't control what the general contractor or construction manager might do in a situation like that. But what I like to share with the clients, what I like to share with the people who we represent is that we know how these things work. The general contractor, if he or she reports that someone was there out of status, well, now there's an entire investigation that's going to occur on that work site. And what are the odds that the one person who got injured was the only person they ever picked off of wherever they get these workers to come work on the site? So look, could someone attempt to report something? Maybe, but I would lay odds that that would cause so much more headache, so much more trouble, so many more problems for all those construction site entities that they're much less likely to do it than you might think. And
that makes sense.
What I'll add is oftentimes these construction site foremen, these construction site safety personnel, who, by the way, as you know, are really there for the safety of the construction site owner and their insurance policy, they will use that to intimidate the worker. They will use that to intimidate the injured party to not come forward. Thankfully, at Gregory Spektor and Associates, we know the tactics that these construction site owners use. We know that they will do whatever it takes to cut corners or save a dollar. And that's why we're prepared to represent, fight for, and defend any worker who's been injured on a construction site, particularly those who might be out of status.
And Matthew, the insurance company that ultimately makes the payment for the injury, do you think they will report the status of a worker?
Unlikely. Oftentimes, we know that insurance companies only care about the bottom line. They don't care how hurt someone is. They don't care that that worker has to put food on the table. They're interested in saving money.
Mm-hmm.
And the thought that they're going to make an extra phone call or be part of an extra proceeding, an immigration proceeding in your scenario, where they're not going to get paid and they're just paying time and energy to pursue it, I think is counter to the insurance company's interests. And again, I would say not only is it unlikely, but if you feel that that might be an issue, all the more reason why you need a team of attorneys on your side. You need lawyers who understand the length these insurance companies will go to, the length that these general contractors will go to just to save a dollar. And that team is Gregory, Spektor and Associates.
Thank you, Matthew. And as we know, a lot of workers, as we have discussed, are foreigners or immigrants. Gregory, what languages are spoken at your firm if a client is not comfortable communicating in English?
Definitely we speak English.
Okay.
We have people speaking Spanish. We have people speaking Russian. Do we still have people speaking Creole? Yes, we have people speaking Creole. I want to add one more thing. The reason it's important to have a team of dedicated lawyers on your side, especially if immigration is potentially an issue for you, is because we're the only people you can actually open up 100%. As you might have heard many times, whatever you tell us is completely privileged. And if it is something, very, very scary, we have different degrees of people's status problems, right?
Okay.
And you asked the question before whether insurance companies might report it. Listen, if it is something that's very important and we go to deposition, we're going to put up a serious fight before we have that person go on the record stating what his status is.
Okay.
And in those unique situations where it's sort of a question of life and death, we will prevail most of the times. An insurance company will never even know the extent of your problem. So as Matthew correctly pointed out, it is very, very unlikely that they will go ahead and report you. But if it is something that is that important to you, that is that dangerous to you, we'll go out of our way to make sure that it is prevented from being on the record anywhere and throughout the whole litigation process. And that is why it is so important to have a team of dedicated attorneys on your side.
Okay, Gregory, Matthew, thank you very much. What other languages are spoken and understood at your law firm?
At our law firm, we speak Spanish, Polish, Creole, and Russian.
Okay, perfect. Very good. Okay, thank you, gentlemen, and have a great day.
Thank you, Michael.